Well, welcome to everyone. I'm sorry about that, Eric. We're just we're getting started on the elevation call, December 20th, 2020. You guys, we're about to finish out the year, so it's full-blown holiday season. So excited to have you guys on, that you chose this event over a Christmas party. That makes us both feel really, really good.
Or some Hallmark, probably a
Hallmark movie. And just a brief announcement that for those of you who are looking for a recording of this call, we actually have a YouTube channel now. You can just go to Team Unlimited and search for Nurses Call. That's how I find it. That's our first posted call. It was with Pat and several of our nursing colleagues. We also have a podcast. So it's Team Unlimited Live is the podcast. So if you want to listen when you're commuting, if you want to listen with video, then you can go find those videos.
So what we have discovered is, I think this is consistent. If it's not, we're not going to worry about it. But you need to go to YouTube, because if you text us and say, hey, send it to me, if we send you a link, what will happen is you'll have to download something. Whereas if you just go on your own to YouTube and subscribe to this YouTube channel, when you get there, there's a little button to push subscribe. You will get notifications when each week. And of course, we do this weekly,
right? So
you should be able to get it the next day after it's posted, or whenever it gets posted.
Right. So that's where you can find the information. The other thing we always do is just kind of give a brief recap, especially for those of you who are new to the team, or those who are listening on recording that are new to the team. We hope that you'll share this with your team. Is really just the purpose of the elevation call. Hal, you do a great job with that.
Okay, so the elevation call, as we now call it on Sunday night, is for our team. It's for brand new people, and it's for
not old people.
not so brand new people. Who actually, it's for everyone. And the reason that we do this call is to train and to educate on how to build the business, the bare bone basics. We do all kind of training on scripting, we had a great training last week from the Fergusons on the binary, which is a little more drive into depth and a little more detail. So every once in a while we will go, take a deep dive like that when we've got one of our team members who can do a good job of training. But we have inspirational stories we share with one another. But we really use this time to motivate and to elevate your business and your belief, your understanding. This call used to be called the Jeep call, probably here about the first of the year. We won't have to tell that part of the story anymore. Hopefully everybody will be used to it. But the Jeep call, Lisa created when she first started building the business in her backyard in Evansville, Indiana. And there wasn't a whole lot of Zalise at that time. Not a lot of training, wasn't all the stuff we've got in our back office and all that. It didn't have all the apps and all the tools and all the assets that we have now. And so she just met and trained with the people with what she had and helped them build, and then jumped to telephone calls, to the conference call. And then 2 years ago, Zoom, before the pandemic hit, we started doing Zoom and we did our training that night. And then a couple of months ago, we decided, we've got some people that think they don't need to be on this call. They think this is for brand new people only, or people who've already, and then there's other people who think it's just for people who've already reached Jeep, because we called it Jeep Call. So it's really for everyone, and it's to help educate and elevate you.
Absolutely. So. And so we always start by who has been in motion the most.
And recognized
by Zalise with the leaderboard. And you can actually go to resources and then go to reports. And then get it's reports, not resources, on the leaderboard. So Hal, let's shout out.
So what this is all of Zalise, every single global. This is the top 25 enrollers based upon number and BV for the month. And so here we are, just about a week away from the end of the month. And so this group right here, and there's been a couple of people move up. So anyway, so at number 22 is Mary Ellen and Roger in Ziliac in Indiana. And then we have Laura McClendon in Texas.
Woohoo, Laura.
At number 15, Lorena and Jean Workmeister in Arnold, Missouri.
Woohoo!
By the way, they were winners this last week of $100. Okay. They won the day with their enrollments. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't hit another one here pretty soon. based upon what we're hearing. And then Steve and Jenny Todd, who are not with us tonight, they're at a church function.
Well, their family function.
A family function.
Yeah.
Probably a church event with them
Probably
or
so.
something. I don't know. Church family thing. Anyway, and then they're at number 7 from Florida. And then moving up, I think from number 6 or 5 last week to number 4 this week is Eric and Kristen out of Atlanta, Georgia area.
Woohoo!
All right.
So proud of those guys.
Yes, it's been a great week for them. Hey, how'd you guys do that?
Yeah, you guys unmute and tell us, how'd you guys do it? How did you keep that elevation going?
Well, you could talk about planting seeds if you'd like.
The seeds that have been planted over the past couple of months, like we were taught to do.
Hey, Eric, lean into the mic better.
The seeds that we were taught to plant over time are beginning to bear fruit. And the stimulus package has really helped that to come to fruition. Now that the hard part is not to rest on my laurels and sell more seeds, they have more fruit.
We're not hearing you.
We're not hearing you. I don't know.
Put the mic up.
I don't know where I got lost, but it's about sowing the seeds, as Stephen has taught us to sow seeds. They're now coming to they're bearing fruit, and the stimulus package is really making it a lot easier to enroll people at $49 and to get them started on product, and then to get them their interest in other products depending on their health or their vanity with the collagen. It also really helps too.
Right. Anything else, Kristen?
For the enrollments this week were from the Collagen Post, and I think that being really organic and just kind of like, I mean, I was so excited the other day when I saw my eyebrows coming back here, and after age or pharmaceuticals and stuff from past years and stuff, I've lost some things. So to have that come back and just do a very organic post, those were 4 of our enrollments this week.
That's awesome.
Fantastic.
So a couple of teaching points just real quick on this. So Eric and Kristen both have stayed very plugged in with their upline all the way up to us, not only with 3-way calls, but weekly updates, asking for help from their upline on 3-way calls and follow-ups.
Weekly meetings with Angela.
Weekly meetings with Angela, contact with us. So they've done, it's not just about contacting and inviting and follow through. It's about all the other things. So that's one thing. The other thing, I'm just going to use this as a teaching point for all of us here. I know the 2 of you from time to time, you do presentations online on Zoom together. Is that right? Okay.
Yes.
So here's what I would say, just to be aware of this, and it's just for all of us. So tonight, unless you're sitting right in front of the camera, even like you guys are right now, it breaks up your vocal. So just a teaching point for everyone. If you're doing these presentations as a couple on Zoom, make sure you may have to get an outside mic or something to pick up your voices, because like in y'all's case, if you're not right in front of it, even with Kristen, who was strong voiced in the beginning, we couldn't hear Eric because he was just a little bit to the side. And again, this is for everyone. Do a double check on your presentations, on your conversations with people as you're presenting. Make sure that they can hear you. So
great point.
Good job, guys.
And they brought up the whole stimulus pack, which we've had for 6-7 weeks now. Stimulus has really breathed a lot of life into people's business, because before, in order to enroll and get wholesale, you had to order at a minimum the $199 kit, and then you didn't get the business with that. You just got wholesale pricing. So now for $49, you get $80 in product, our 2 top products, mini oral, mini topical. You get a $99 business, and you get free shipping on your first order.
Right.
First order. So that really means that people can just load up and get everything at wholesale. So it does remove a lot of barriers. And one of the things that I really enjoyed, there's different approaches that you can interest people in either the business or the health aspect of this. And Hal and I were talking about it before, because Stephen gave us a great recommendation of how can you talk to somebody about the business. And what he said is, if I could show you a way to get in on the ground floor of one of the most explosive industries in the world post-COVID, would you have any interest? That was his lead in. And Hal goes, you know what, that's great for the business, but that doesn't really tell you how to talk to somebody about health.
Yeah. So the other just simple question we ask people, again, this is on the health side, because we're in the nutrition business to help with health and issues, the way we feel. So the question is, and I've heard Lisa ask it so many times, and that is there anything about your health, about your body, the way it feels, the way you feel, that you would like to see improve or you'd like to see change? Is there anything? And that's the question. And then you just listen. You literally listen. That is one of the best questions. And again, this is on the road of health. And if they start, responding, you have something to offer. We all have something to offer. If we want beyond that, we can pick up the business side very quickly and ask another question, which is, if I could show you a way to make an impact financially in a ground floor opportunity that's changing the world with educating people on a new product line, would you have any interest in that as well? Or if they say there's no body issue, their bodies are great, they're perfect, they don't have any health issues, well, then how about this? And so you can open both doors or just go one way. So it's really important, and when you're communicating this message to people, to understand, am I using the business approach or am I using a product approach? What is the better approach for this individual? And so on the business side, another thing that he said was, and I've heard Eva say this, this may not be for you. You just give them an out right up front. The other thing that Stephen said, and I looked over at Lisa, said, "Ooh, I like that." And that is something like, you may not be qualified for this. Stephen said, you may not be qualified for what we're doing. And some people will kind of bow up a little bit and say, "Oh, well, give me a shot. Let's see if I'm qualified for this." So, and I will tell you that for most people, what he's saying is, when you say you may not be qualified for this, what he's saying is, are you open-minded or not? That's it. If a person's not open-minded, they have a preconceived idea, their mind is shut to open up other opportunities, then they're not qualified. They're just not at this time. So you can actually make that. If someone's open-minded and willing to listen, then they're qualified for what we do. Let's see what else.
The other thing, that his magic 4 words, who do you know? And my magic words are you open? Are you open to looking at a solution for that? Because honestly, at the end of the day, if somebody's not open, you can have the best thing in the world and you can spend a ton of energy and time explaining the cannabinoid system, explaining our business model, and they're just not open. So if you ask the "are you open" question, it really gives us an opportunity to walk through the open door. Kristen, did you have something that you wanted to add to that?
Yes, I did. There's been times when I've approached people maybe about just the health aspects of it, and they're like, "Oh, don't try to sell me, this and this," and I'm not interested in the business. I said, "I'm not offering you a business." I just take it away right there. So it's not as confrontational, but it is. I'm not asking you to join my organization. That's not what this is about. And they kind of feel a little bit uncomfortable. Because, well, why not me, And so I would agree with you on that point.
That's a great takeaway. And it gives us some power to know that if somebody seems like there's, in some ways, there's pushback, then just take it away from them.
And Stephen teaches that. And it's not just Stephen. I mean, this is actually a communication in not only in sales or in marketing or sharing, social marketing, but in relationships. And that is, if someone kind of gives you pushback or gives you a little bit of that attitude, we just say, "You know what? I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm not looking to sell you a business. I'm not looking to be a business partner. We don't know if we qualify, if we're a good fit for that. But I would like to share with you a couple of things and see if this might be a good fit for you to know." And so again, what we're trying to do is introduce, keep very brief our communications with people, in part because the stimulus package, think about this, the stimulus package is affordable for pretty much everyone, okay? At some point, they can collect $49, sell something, get $49. It's affordable, okay? And yet for us, when we enroll someone on the stimulus package, our pay for our time for that enrollment immediately is how much? Hold up your hand, $5.
$5.
Okay. So if you take an hour with someone on the phone, trying to talk them into something, and they sign up, you got $5. Okay. Now I know we get paid more down the road with that, and I'm not trying to make it all about dollars, but the point is that we want to keep the stimulus package conversations very short, so we've been talking about some of these scripts, but that also leads to what we're going to talk about tonight, and really let many of you do the talking with parameters for instruction and practice. So tonight's elevation call is about sharing your story in 1 to 2 minutes and covering 4 to 5 points in a very short amount of time, 1 to 2 minutes max. So tonight, we're actually going to work on this a little bit by asking a couple of people to do this. Again, the parameter is 1 to 2 minutes long, best you can, trying to cover this information that we have on the screen.
And let me give you a little backstory on this. Having been in the industry for probably about a little bit over 15 years now, I have heard a lot of people share their story, and I have been asked my story many times, and just, even people in other businesses and other maybe even competitive companies, hearing their stories. And when somebody kind of exceeds, I don't know if it's 2 minutes or 3 minutes, but when they exceed that amount of time, my eyes tend to roll back in my head, and I think, you lost me. And so I think one of the most important aspects of communicating about this business is having respect and restraint and discipline in the amount of time that you're sharing with people. Because if you're going to go on and on and on, even if your story is just miraculous, you will lose people. In fact, what Stephen said, loose lips sink ships, right? So one of the ways that we learned how to share our story, this for me was years ago, is tell your name, where you're from, your background, why Zalise in this case, and the best part is. So if I'm sharing my story, my name is Lisa Bell Henson. I'm actually from Evansville, Indiana, but I'm living in Farmington, Arkansas right now. My background is a former ICU nurse. I've been in wellness and fitness for 100 years. And I was introduced to Zalise by a holistic dentist. And the only reason I was open is because we had gone through 5 years of pharmaceutical therapy for my son's brain health issues, and it had broken our entire family. And so literally in 3 days, he had a life-changing experience. And the best part is 3 years later, I'm financially free, living a life that I've only dreamed of in a whole nother place with my amazing business partner, who was a legend in high school.
8th grade.
And so to me, the best part is now we can share this message together with others.
So y'all heard her just say that. She literally does that all the time. This week, because we have been in the last 2 weeks, we have bought a home. We're selling another one. So we've met a lot of people. Lisa's fallen in love with Facebook marketplace and neighborhood, backyard, online neighborhood yard sale stuff to sell and buy different pieces, it's been really fun. But we've met a lot of people. We've met probably 7, 8 new people. And we have now got 5 people that we had never met before on product, on minis, as a result of us going to look for a piece of furniture, sell a piece of furniture, look for lights at Lowe's. But 5 people are now on product, and 7 or 8 are now in either her phone or my phone, and other people have our business cards. Now, we're going out not to prospect, we're just living life. But because Lisa and I both, in 1 to 2 minutes, which is not too long when you're getting to know someone at all. I mean, exchanging for a piece of furniture or whatever, 1 to 2 minutes of your name, where you're from, your background, why Elise, and the best part can be told. And you just heard Lisa do it. If you ask her to do it again, it would be just like she just did it.
And so they say facts tell, but stories sell.
So at the end, so the fact is her name's Lisa Bell Henson. The fact is she's from Arkansas originally, been living in Indiana as a nurse, former ICU nurse. That's her background. So those are the facts. Why Zelise? The fact is that she was introduced to Zelise by a holistic dentist. But here's the story. Her life was changed financially. Her son's life was changed health-wise by being introduced to a product that she didn't know anything about in this endocannabinoid system in her body. Life-changing financially. And I will tell you that most people, that's all you got to tell them. And they're either a rock that you can't turn over, or they're going to respond to you and ask you more questions. And so tonight, that's really what we want to try to do, is get a few people to do their best to use this outline and just introduce themselves to all of us on the call.
And I've already got a couple plants in the audience. So I'm going to bring Pat Taylor to the line. Pat, are you there? Miss $100 winner? Pat, we can't hear you, so you need to unmute yourself.
You hear me now?
I hear you now.
All right.
So Pat, first of all, I want to say congratulations to you on being a $100 winner this past week. All of us were so excited to see your name in the limelight. But
a bit more than I was.
Hey, those kind of surprises are awesome. Who doesn't need an extra $100 around Christmas, right?
I mean, really.
So, Pat, are you okay with using this format to kind of tell us your story?
I am.
I want to hear it.
Okay, my name's Pat Taylor. I'm from Mahomet, Alabama. I'm a native Baldwin County in Alabama, but I have been a practicing registered nurse for the last 55 years, 33 years in acute care and 22 in long-term care. But like most health professionals, if I heard about CBD, I just sort of ignored it, thought it was some kind of fad going around. No way. But a friend of mine asked me to come to a meeting. He didn't even tell me what it was about, but I went and I heard the science of CBD. And when I heard it, I knew that it was real. I knew it right then. So I tried it. And I can tell you that I've had MRIs that tell me that every joint in my body has arthritis in it. I have 2 types of arthritis. I have rheumatoid as well as osteo. So, needless to say, my joints hurt all the time. Well, I tried CBD and it worked. And the last 10 years, well, really the last 2 years of my nursing practice, I could not have worked and without CBD. But it's just one of the best things that's happened to me as far as my health. And the other thing is I have IBS and now I have no symptoms of that anymore. So that's wonderful too. But Zelise, why Zelise? 1 is because it does work. And 2, because Zelise stands for the things that I believe in. I believe in openness and honesty and transparency and caring for other people. And that's what Zelise stands for. And so why wouldn't I do it? That's the story.
That's awesome.
Nice job,
Great
Pat
job,
Taylor.
Pat.
It's easy to see why you are raking in the cash.
So Pat, you've been in nursing for how long?
55 years.
So you're not a professional salesperson then, are you?
No, well, actually you sell yourself every day when you work, but
That's true.
are selling something. You sell yourself and what you can do.
That's right.
And you know what I would say, Pat, honestly, one of the best things is that you've been able to share it with some really amazing people who have had amazing experiences. And we got to meet some of them when we were there with Stephen recently.
Right.
So thanks for all you do, Pat. Thank you for being willing to share with us today.
And keep going. Let's get you another $100.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. So let me bring to the line Susan Carabello. Susan, can you unmute? Are you there? Susan, where are you?
I'll tell you what, I'm unmuted, although it
Right.
might be frightening.
Susan, I wanted to,
Can you see me?
I can't personally see you. Let's see.
Okay.
Susan.
That's funny. I mean, I took off the video undo, but that's okay. As long as you can hear me.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just looking down the screen to see if I can see you. You're not coming up on my phone. But hey, Susan, we have been really privileged to meet you, and I thank you for being willing to tell us your story with these 5 components.
Well, we'll see if I have my components straight. I am Susan Carabello from Tallahassee, Florida, and I am a retired psychotherapist who has had a lifelong interest in holistic healing. So you can say that I've been studying how to heal with nature for at least 40 years, mainly working on myself as my favorite guinea pig, because I was born in some interesting circumstances to a diabetic mother, cesarean section. I wasn't able to be breastfed. So I came into life with some challenges, and I almost died at age 3, which set my nervous system up for a real challenge. And all the nurses and the medical people on this call know what I mean by that. I had a parasympathetic nervous system that was greatly impaired. And so let's just say with my background, and I had, even though I'd been living, eating the right diet, taking the right supplements, I mean, really doing, yoga, a lot of good things, my body just wasn't really optimally responding. And when my good friend Melita invited me to come to a Zoom meeting for Zalise, and I heard people's testimonials. I mean, it really was that. I heard 2 things. One, I had already understood the science because I'd been trying CBD for the last 2 years, and I hadn't had any good responses. But when I heard the testimonials and I understood why Zalise was working, because the bioavailability with being able to cross the barrier into the cells because of your ultracell technology, I was in. I mean, it was so interesting. Nobody needed to talk me into it because of those, I guess, decades of searching and studying the human biofield. I understood that this was what I needed. And all I can say to you is the first night I took Zalise, I slept for 5.5 hours straight. I don't think I've ever done that in my life. So I say, thank you. Thank you. Here I am coming up on 2 months, and the amazing sleep, the changes in my mood, and being able to share what I'm experiencing with myself, with other people. And that's where it's perhaps the most spectacular, is somebody who's been in pain for 40 years that says, oh my gosh, I've been on your product 4 days and my pain is reduced 40%. That's life-changing. At my father, watching my father get his memory back at 91. So I just, from the bottom of my heart, I'm so honored and thankful to be a part of the Zalise expansion into our world of wellness. Thank you.
That's awesome.
Wow, beautiful.
Well, for all of us, it's so fun to hear people's stories for the first time. And though we're doing this for training tonight and kind of as a challenge to everyone to tell your story, to cover these basics so that everyone can know how to do it. Just hearing your story is so inspiring, and as well as Pat's, and there's going to be more tonight, even in this kind of training opportunity for all of us. And so thank you. Of course, Susan, I will just say, Susan from day one has been enthusiastic, has been teachable, had some challenges, just like all of us have, with shipping orders and working through the baby diaper stage still of Zalise, and the toddler stage of trying to get our act together and shipping and working with COVID. But you've been resilient. And I do believe it's because you've seen the results for you, but more importantly, you have a vision to help other people, and you're not going to let little things slow you down.
The other thing I want to shout out, Susan, you've just been a workhorse, and you're always apologizing when you're calling because, it's Thanksgiving or it's, Christmas holidays. But when you're really committed and you understand what's at stake, I'm just like, you called me today with a three-way with Ted.
With Ted, yeah.
Ted was enrolling his first person, one of your newest people enrolling his first person. And you were like apologizing to us, but I just wanted to give you a shout out for your work ethic and the professionalism that you do this business with.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, good job. Thanks. So let's see. So now, do you want to have some fun, Lisa?
Yeah, let's have some fun. All
right. Now, everybody take a deep breath, because we're actually going to call on some people that so what we're asking you to do is to treat us, or to treat the screen, like you're meeting someone, maybe over buying a piece of furniture, or you met them in the parking lot, maybe at a ball game, you're standing in line waiting, maybe 6 feet apart, whatever, social distancing, to get a hot dog at a game, whatever it is. Okay. Or maybe at the salon, you're waiting in the waiting area to take your turn, whatever. And you don't want to wear somebody out. You just want to do what? You just kind of want to share your story in a minute or two, or something like that, covering all these bases. So where do you want to start?
So I wanted to call on one other person, and then we're going to let you guys, if anyone wants
one other person, I want to call a couple of people out.
Okay.
All right, go. You go first.
Okay. Dr. Balaji, are you on?
Look at them all playing like they're hiding now.
Playing mute.
He's going to act like he doesn't know how to use his
Dr.
computer.
Balaji, are you on? Are you just muted or
he's one of those guys that gets on and then goes to the kitchen and starts cooking.
I'm just kidding. I don't see him, so we're gonna have to move on.
Okay, we'll move on. He's hiding.
Susan Everett.
Oh.
Are you muted or unmuted?
There we go.
There's Susan. Okay, Susan, fire away.
I wasn't even supposed to be on this call. I'm still supposed to be at church. This is not fair.
I know you're supposed to be playing the piano for the Christmas
I know. I just turned it on about a minute ago. Okay.
You only got a minute left.
So look at your screen. You should see, tell your story.
Okay. Yep, I see it.
Okay.
1 to 2 minutes.
Okay, so my name is Susan Everett, and I've lived in Evansville, Indiana for the last zillion years. And I moved here in my last couple of years of college. And my background has been in information technology and working for different companies, a lot in the printing packaging world, and then also in financial services. But it's always been in corporate America. The way I got into this with Zalise is because I was interested in, I've always studied holistic vitamins and minerals, and I've always worked with exercising and that type of thing. And so I've always got my ear to the ground on what's new and what's going on. And so when I ended up having some muscle issues that I couldn't deal with on my own, I noticed Lisa, and then I wanted to know more about this CBD product that she was talking about. So I went to a meeting, started hearing people's testimonies, and I thought, wow, if this is doing that, it'll certainly help me. And so that I was hook, line, and sinker then, because I would hear how much it was helping other people. I fell in love with the company and just the moral, ethical aspect of the company. And I wanted to be a part of it, both as a user and then more recently as somebody who's trying to share the product and the success stories with other people. So that's kind of what got me here.
Awesome.
Awesome, Susan. And we know what the best part is because you shared it a few weeks ago with Carol. So
Yeah, that's true.
that's very exciting as well.
So what we're discovering is that we have some people that we've called on that that we know can do this because they're doing it, and they're not just practicing it or doing it tonight, but
They've shared it with
they've
others.
shared it with others.
Is there anyone else you
I thought maybe Cindy Alvarado might want to just do a 1 to
great
2 minute deal.
choice.
Just introduce yourself and tell us, run through your story, Cindy.
Or not?
Well, she's going to. She's trying to unmute.
Hang on, I was in the kitchen fixing me some dinner.
Yeah, you were trying to
Busted.
not get
She's
called out.
Busted.
No, I was listening. Hi, my name's Cindy Alvarado. I'm from North Mississippi. My background is I've spent the last over a decade traveling 9 states for a nutritional weight loss company, teaching doctors how to implement a weight loss protocol. I've spent a lot of years researching natural products and the science behind them and why they work and how they work. And I understood the science of CBD, and I tried several CBD products over the last few years without any success. And then I discovered Zillies. A very good friend introduced me. She said, before you give up on CBD, please try one more time. And so I did. I jumped in a couple of years ago and I bought my Ultracell and used it. And within the first few weeks, had major turnarounds in major issues that I had been dealing with for decades. But the best part of it was that I've been in and out of a lot of these little companies over the decades, starting way back in the 70s with one of the makeup companies. And I was always disappointed every time. I knew it could work, but I couldn't make it work. And a lot of the issues came down to the people that you're working with. And Zillies is head and shoulders above any other company I've ever been associated with. So I found a home here. I found a family here, and I found products that work here. And this is where I will stay.
Awesome. Thank you, Cindy.
You know, the other thing, shout out, you shared this with Melita, who shared this with
Yes.
Susan Carabello.
That's right.
And
Yes,
so
and I think Susan Carabello is my doppelganger.
No, that's cool.
Her
Cindy.
background
Hey,
is
Cindy.
so much like mine.
That's great.
you're both
That's great.
amazing.
So,
We're
hey,
going to have to get on the phone and talk, Susan.
That's right. Well,
Absolutely,
you guys
Cindy.
upline and
job.
downline. So Cindy, don't burn your biscuits. We don't want you to go don't burn the biscuits.
It's not a biscuit.
Okay.
Thank you for jumping in.
Thanks, Cindy. All right. Let's see. I want to call. You want to call out here?
Go ahead.
All right. So we got a couple that's on the leaderboard, but I want to hear from Gene Workmeister. I want to hear how Gene does his tell your story.
There we go.
I think I'm unmuted now.
Yeah.
Good.
Loud and
Okay.
clear.
Well, my name is Eugene Workmeister, and we're from St. Louis, Missouri. My background is in the medical field, not with the doctor part of it, but actually I make surgical instruments. So it's kind of interesting. I make instruments that'll go in every orifice of your body, and then it'll also make some new orifices for you too. So it's pretty fun at times. So, but I'll be glad to get away from there. That's for sure. But anyway, my wife and I were on a marriage retreat in Evansville, Indiana, New Harmony, Indiana, excuse me. And we were at a little show, a pet seminar or a pet show, and we ran into Mary Ellen Ziliak over there. And my wife tried the product and she felt wonderful. Within just a matter of a few minutes, a half hour, she could tell the difference. So I started taking hers when we got back to St. Louis, and I noticed little pains in my shoulder were starting to go away that I've had for years and years. And, it was really painful for the longest time, but it started going away until now. I'm finally pain-free in my shoulder. I can swing or hammer again, and I can go out and split wood if need be. I can do all that. So, but the best part for me about the Zalease program that we're with, one is a product by far, by no means can anything else compare to it. But two, the friendships that you get with your support line, and just everybody on here has got the same mindset. Basically, they want to help other people, and that's just so awesome for us.
That is great. Great job, Gene. So here's the deal. Okay, that was less than 2 minutes. So here's the deal. Because you left an additional 15 seconds on the table, I'm going to give Lori, and this will be a challenge. I'm going to give you 2 minutes and an additional 13 seconds to tell your story. 2 minutes, no more than 2 minutes, 13 seconds. Ready, set, go.
Okay, actually, he told you the first part. So all I have to do is say my background. I am a domestic goddess. I am a home mom. I homeschooled my kids. I have an autoimmune disease, and that's why I had many issues with my with fatigue, with brain fog. I couldn't read. My life has been really going downhill for a long time. But Zalease has changed everything. Then, so the product, I had never tried any other CBD, but it worked. Then I had a bunny rabbit that got very sick, and they weren't going to give him very much time. So I started him on CBD and CBG, and he lasted a year longer than they said he would. And so now I tell everybody, what it does for bunny rabbits and for animals and what it did for me, but it completely changed my life. And then Hal and Lisa and Mary Ellen, and Roger, they are all helping me to improve myself, and they've been great. So that's mine in a nutshell.
Wow.
Nice job.
You got 5 seconds left to spare here, girl.
That's awesome.
Shocking.
So proud of you. So I got to tell you guys, and I don't think they're going to mind me saying this, but the first time we met the Workmeisters, Gene barely said a word for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Mary, Lorena, I don't think stopped for an hour and a half.
No.
And we've come a long way, guys. Look at this.
That was a beautiful.
It was beautiful
story.
for both of you. I'm so proud of y'all.
Very proud of you guys. Shows a lot of discipline
and a lot of work and a lot of commitment.
Can we just, Mary Ellen, Ziliak, and Roger, do you guys mind unmuting and just covering this, because they kept talking about Mary Ellen
and Roger.
So
I want Roger to do the story thing.
Well,
yeah, are we on?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yay.
Can you hear us?
We can.
Yeah, I am just bursting with pride because these guys didn't know a soul, met me in New Harmony, took a chance, had results, and then went to St. Louis with not another soul knowing what in the heck they're talking about. And they have just worked and listened and learned and done everything they're supposed to do. So I'm so proud of them because I have seen the growth. And now all those seeds they planted are growing. And I just feel like a proud mama because I had a little piece of that connection to get them going. So I love it, love it, love it.
Well, Mary Ellen, you have a very powerful story yourself. So you and Roger, please share your story.
Yeah. Let's let Roger go first, though. Roger, you got 1 to 2 minutes. Go.
Man, I got to tell him, he can't hear. Hold on.
I know. You tell him.
Can you? Wait a minute, hold on. We got to get the thing up here for him to see, full screen.
Okay.
Can you do yours?
Oh, you want me to do this? Well, yeah, obviously. From Roger Ziliak, here from Evansville, originally from Hopstad. background is farming for about 20 years, and now I've been insurance and financial for the last 30. And Zalise was something I was introduced to from Mary Ellen. And suffice it to say, it's been life-changing. I kind of went kicking and screaming because I thought, oh, this ain't nothing but snake oil. But I listened to her and tried it, and it has been great for me for my arthritis. It is just amazing. And I think the best part of all of this, honestly, I never really thought about that, but I really think it's the whole Zalise family. I mean, I love getting to know other people who's here on the team. Jean and Lorena, it's just amazing to watch their growth and to see people like, Angela has changed dramatically. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say the big change that I've seen in Mary Ellen. So I know that this is a product that can help everyone. And I love what I've seen everybody on this team do. So it's just amazing, really. So
Good job,
Beautiful.
Roger.
Nice job,
there's my
Roger.
shirt.
Great job.
So Mary Ellen's going to tell us she's actually a professional speaker, but I think Roger has learned a lot from you, Mary Ellen.
Well, it's been mutual. 47 years, we've learned a few things. We're still working on it, though.
Well,
Mary
we
Ellen-
might get there, yeah.
So Mary Ellen, it's your turn.
Yes. It's my turn.
It's your
Well, I'm Mary Ellen Ziliak. I'm from Evansville, Indiana. And my background is nursing. And I've lived with an autoimmune disease for 25 years. So for a while, my world was turned upside down and I had to leave nursing. So when I was introduced to Zalise, I was doing it. I went to the program to learn something and to try something as a skeptic, because I knew a little bit about CBD, not a lot, but I went in hoping it might help with one health challenge I had, and I had quite a few with an autoimmune disease. And so I was real surprised when I had things happen fast, like in 20 minutes, I started feeling better. So I feel better, I'm less dizzy, I sleep better, less pain. I know I can just go on and on, but my biggest thing is I feel like I got my life back with my brain, because no matter what my physical challenge was, the mental challenge is what was the most difficult to deal with. And when I start in being able to retrieve my email and remember passwords and have a conversation and not lose my way, I felt like me again. So I love that. And so then I said, well, let me get in this business to find the cheapest way to get the product. But then it didn't take long. I thought, no, the nurse educator in me has to do more. I have to tell everybody about this option. And that's part of my purpose now. It may not be for everybody, but everybody needs to know it's out there and it's legit and it's backed by science. So that's my drive right now. Besides feeling good, I want everybody else to feel good. So here I am having fun. When I don't have fun,
Great job.
Great job, Mary Ellen. Beautiful.
Super.
Eloquent.
So we're going to call out one more person, then we're going to be close to the top of the hour, but we'll maybe,
If anybody else
if
wants to
somebody else
share, they
wants
can raise
to,
their
we
hand.
will raise your hand or just jump in, but we're going to call on one more person. How about, now here's the deal. Some of you we haven't had speak on the call, so we may call on somebody. I don't think they've ever spoken on this call.
I don't think so.
That's it. Tammy Vandiver, are you on the? Are you available? Can you unmute?
Yes.
All right.
Woohoo! Hey, Tammy.
Well, so Tammy, would you mind just running through this for a minute or two for us?
Alrighty, I'm Tammy Vandiver, and I am from Silsbee, Texas. I am a nurse practitioner. I've been a nurse practitioner for probably 5 years now. Started off way back when with respiratory, and then just worked my way up. And I was introduced to Zelise. It's kind of funny, actually. It's actually by Jim's ex-wife, a lady that works for her, Jerry. I was introduced probably about a year ago. And so I figured, I didn't know much about it, to be honest with you. And so I started trying it. And so 2 things that it has helped me with. Several years ago, I had a head injury. It was pretty bad. But I developed tremors, hand tremors from that injury. And, I used to get picked on a lot because, trying to put an IV in or something, people were kind of look at me funny, but you learn how to improvise, And so I noticed probably about, I'd say about, I don't know, a couple of months into taking it, that I still have tremors somewhat, but not near like I did. And so that's helped a lot. And also for those women out there who are still having, that cycles and everything. So it seems like as I've gotten older, I don't know, it just seems to get worse, like the pain. And I take ice also. And I do not live on ibuprofen anymore during that time. All I have to do is, and now if I miss, like if I'm out or something and it comes up to that time, I'm in like pain. To where, you have to pull over on the side of the road and let it pass kind of pain. But with this, I don't have it at all. I mean, it's like very, very mild when I do. So, and it's just been great.
Fantastic.
Awesome. Thank you, Tammy.
Nice job, Tammy.
So now, are you comfortable speaking on our Zoom call now?
I think so.
That's great.
Love it that you shared. Thank you so
you.
much for being willing.
All right, so I'm going to do one more, and I want us to take a little bit of a different angle. Okay. Hey, Susan Welch, are you available? Can you unmute?
Here I am.
Hey, Susan.
Susan Welch.
Hey.
What I'd like for you to do, and again, we're putting you on the spot, I know. We do want you to run through this 5-point thing, but I'd like you to lean us more toward the business. Like you're going to talk to someone that you think might be a good business partner. Telling your story, but lean it a little bit more toward business if you can.
All right. Introduce myself. My name is Susan Welch. I am a practicing dentist, and I'm from Long Beach, Florida. Beautiful, beautiful state that has a wonderful governor that's keeping us open and working. I got a background. I'm a holistic dentist, but one of the things that I was challenged with this whole pandemic was, they took away my method of earning an income. And so I had been introduced to Zelise in 2019, was going to bring it into my practice. I have lots of patients that literally use CBD, but what I realized when they shut my practice down is that I don't have another form of income. And it literally was a huge eye opener to how limited I really had made my earning potential. So with that, the pandemic and the shutdown allowed me to really dive into Zelise as a corporation and as a business. And it just made me realize is that I know that there are a lot of people out there that are like me, where they have a particular skill set that can be taken away at any moment. I could get in an accident and lose my ability to be a dentist. And the opportunity that Zelise offers has given me growth as a person, with my, believe it or not, my confidence and sharing the product with people, but also the business opportunity, because what I learned in that 6-week shutdown was that I have amazing leaders in Zalise as a business, and I couldn't sell Girl Scout cookies to anybody. But at the same time, what Zalise has done as a corporation is taught me to utilize the people that know more than me. And I think that's the big thing to understand from a business perspective is that you do not do this by yourself. And that, I think getting past that fear and then also understanding that, that's what I share with people is that it's amazing the camaraderie that's here. That's something I miss about the military, having served in the Air Force, but it's something that you will not do this by yourself. And so whenever I chime in with these meetings, I think it's important for all these new people, and I still consider myself a neophyte in all of this, is that you will not do this by yourself, but you have to reach out to your team members. And that's what I'm really trying to convey when I share this with other people in my community that are not affiliated with my dental practice, is that this is something that we do together, and I will help you be successful, just like my upline and my leadership has helped me be successful, and to build that confidence. But you have to be involved, and you have to work at it. So that's the other thing too. That's one of the best things about Zalise. I really enjoy you guys, is the fact that this is a family, and sharing it with my family, my sisters and my brother and my parents, it's really made a huge impact in, it's interesting just in our health and wellness, but also, it's just one more thing we get to sit and talk about around the dinner table. And I can't wait to get up with my family in Michigan at Christmas time. So I really appreciate this opportunity to be able to speak real quick. And you guys are the best. So thanks.
All right.
Thank you
Thanks,
so much, Susan.
So I don't know how many we had, maybe 10 people do that.
Yeah.
In about, so 10 people in about 35 minutes. So just think about that. 10 people shared 5 points of their story. And we heard from 10 people in 35, 40 minutes.
Every story was different.
And everyone was different. Everyone did a great job. We made maybe even more than 10, including you. So think about that, how impactful the short story is, and just learning how to do it. And there's no need to do more. And so anyway.
And so I want to